Rachel. Welcome to Homeschool Avenue. Today we have a very interesting topic for the video. We're going to be talking about school admission test, aka the SAT. I'm just gonna give you a run through of how to register, some of the rules they have for the SAT, as well as showing you the app that you will be using to take the test. Let's start with the video. So the first thing you have to do is search up Collegeboard on Google, and you should just pick the SAT. Obviously, you have to sign up for the Collegeboard, and it will help you a lot because you can access Big Future, Collegeboard, and also Bluebook, which is the app that we use on the SAT. So right now we have a few dates available. Obviously, I'm already signed in, so I can just register. This is the SAT homepage, and this is like a very important part of where you will be preparing for the SAT. I'm just gonna do a little simulation of how registering for the SAT works. Just hit the button and you enter your information. You have your name, gender, birthday, graduation date, and here you have what your school is. If you're in homeschooling, you pick the country's region, and the high school code for homeschoolers is 970000. New York. You just pick that, and that's just saying, oh yeah, I'm a homeschooler. You need your email and a postal address. Now it's just asking about yourself, race, and whatever, all that stuff. Your parents' level of education, languages that you speak. AP credit, I didn't apply for that, so I said no. Your GPA, you need to have that in your transcript. They ask for a rank, I just put average on everything. And so coursework, all the classes that you've taken. This is why you should try to keep knowledge of the classes you're taking, because they will ask about that. We have math, English, science, social studies, and languages. High school activities, you just pick all the extracurriculars you've done. I did a lot of music, so I just picked a lot of that. Sports, college program that you're interested in. Here it's more like trying to gauge what your college experience will look like. So level of education that you plan to complete, college majors you're interested in, college type, what you're considering, what your college life will look like, basically. Financial aid and part-time job. Okay, continue please. Thank you. Select date and test center. This is like the most important part. You will have to read all the testing rules. This is very important. The SAT takes this as a contract, so you have to be, you have to read the clauses. And also, you have to be aware of the rules, because if you do break any of the rules, your scores may be canceled or you may be banned from taking the test again. Taking the SAT. So here we can see the SAT is a digital test, and you take it on a testing device. You will be using Bluebook, the app. You have to provide an acceptable photo. They have some requirements for the photo, and you can only change your photo up to 5 days before the test. These are the testing devices you can use: Windows laptop, Mac laptop, Windows tablet, iPad, or Chromebook. If you don't have a device, you can borrow a testing device from them. You just have to request it with time to make sure they have a device available at the testing center you're at. So make sure to think about that as well. You can test if the app can work on the device. So I did that basically every single week before the SAT. Bluebook must be downloaded. You will use your Collegeboard account to access Bluebook, and please make sure there are no discrepancies between your admission ticket and your photo ID, because it's within their discretion, but they may deny you access. So you may bring a few things: a power cord, you can bring an external mouse and mouse pad, a calculator that meets the requirements. Bluebook has a calculator, so you may not need a calculator there. I still used it though, so while you're practicing in your home, you'll see if you really need a calculator or if you can just manage with the app itself. You don't need to bring paper, they give you the paper at the testing site. So you need to close all the applications when the test begins. There's 2 sections to the SAT. First is reading and writing, which is English. Second section is math. Each section is divided into modules. So you can't bring a couple of things: stylus, pens, any smartwatches. They confiscate your phone, so you can't access your phone. Highlighters, color pens. Just take a pencil, headphones, or earbuds. I think they do let you bring those if you are accommodated, but you know, that's very certain circumstances. You can't bring weapons or firearms. No cheating, no copying or recording test questions, no digital resources during the break. Just try to be very focused on the testing. This has pretty big consequences. Your scores can get canceled and you also can be banned. So read the consequences very thoroughly. Since it's not as important to the video, I won't really touch on it as much. Make sure to look through all of this. Testing region, you select your region. The testing date, as you can see, there's not as many dates. Make sure you do this with time. I'm just gonna put December 6th for the simulation. And this has a $68 cost. This is the testing site. I took it in Dorado, which is this one. Super pretty. They were very nice. There's also like a couple of other places. Let's see how many places in Puerto Rico I can find. There's a couple. Have Dorado. It's mostly bilingual schools. I'm just gonna put where I took it last year. And the confirmation. Here you have the type of test, the date, the place, accommodations, and the estimated charges. You need to have a card to do this. I am human. Believe me, please. So you will be required a photo. They will have access to that. When you're taking the test, you go with an admission ticket and they will see this. So your photo has to meet the criteria. Shows just you with your face visible, has your head and shoulders, head on, lit properly and in focus, and then you check out. That's how you register. Right here, you will be able to see any scores. This is from last year, as you can see, and in the practice test. Here you have get practice materials. They just sell some books here, prepare for the SAT. That is a link to Khan Academy. We're just going to review how the app works now. This is the app. It's called Bluebook. You can just access it with your Collegeboard account. So I'm gonna do that now. This is what the app looks like. Your tests will be here, and this is where you would have to sign in if you're gonna take a test. Test preview, full length practice. I was doing this for the Spanish version of this video. Section 1, Module 1. This has like a 30-minute timer actually. I'm gonna show you kind of all the features you have. So these are the directions. That late 19th and early 20th century spent less on food per person than small. So I don't think it's questioned. You can just bloop, cross it out. That's cool. You can highlight stuff. You can just do this. I didn't really do much of that in my exam. It just didn't help as much. If I'm not sure, I can just mark it for review. Continue on with my other questions. If I still have time on the timer, I can go back and review every single one of these that are marked to make sure that I agree with the answers I picked. That's kind of the best way to take this test. Just knock out all of the questions that are easier to answer and then go back to review the more difficult ones. You can just do what I did, like eliminate stuff just because it doesn't make sense. For math, you can have the calculator. In my case, I did find that having a calculator helped me, but in your own practices at home, just try to see if it really helps you or not, and that way, if you don't have to take a calculator, then I guess that's better. Okay, so math. Calculator. This is the calculator. It has this graphing calculator. It's actually pretty good. It also has a scientific one, and it has a reference sheet. So these formulas are really good. For the test, when they gave me scratch paper, I just wrote down every single formula that I remembered that I would need to use, and I just referenced those because obviously your quadratic formula isn't here. Stay tuned for the channel because I will be dropping some videos with more tips of how to study for the SAT, strategies that you can use while taking the test. So it will be an interesting topic we're gonna be talking about in the channel for a while. If you got to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching through all of this. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment if this video has provoked any thought that you would like to share. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!